Doctor Sleep is a bad movie. That's right, The Shining has a sequel, and you might have not even heard of it if it wasn't related to The Shining. And despite heavily promoting it in such a way, there's barely any relation to the first movie.
The same approach we're using with the hotel itself, with the other actors, that we want to remind people of the Kubrick film without simply just copying and pasting it.
As much as we talked about the balance between King and Kubrick, this also going into it, I said there's no way that I could ever dare to kind of stand up to direct comparison with Stanley Kubrick. It's ridiculous.
We are reintroduced to Danny and the actress playing Shelley Duvall, Danny's mother. Apparently the ghosts in the Overlook have been chasing Danny. Well, Halloran is here to explain Danny on how to create a box with his mind to trap the ghosts that are searching for him.
So next time that bitch comes around, you'll be ready.
Soon after.
First try, baby! At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to the main antagonists, vaping people.
It's the special ones that taste best.
I should get back to it.
No, stay a while.
Few moments later.
Are you not going to scream? Therefore, as a group of vampires who feed off other people, they go on the search for a kid with telepathy.
Well, hi there.
You want to let me go?
Oh, no, sweetie.
5 minutes later.
Eat well, stay young, live long.
Turning her into a vampire by vaping.
This is the wild Nick, and it's a natural habitat.
Alex! Oh. Alex! You just dropped it in the fuck.
Meanwhile, Danny turns into an alcoholic. Why? I don't know. And then I guess he goes on a trip.
So I'm running away from myself, I guess.
He gets a house, he gets a job. Don't you want to progress the character along with the story? He suddenly enters rehabilitation when he suddenly sees that the doctor in charge doesn't have his watch.
You left it on the soap dispenser.
How did you know?
Lucky guess.
If you didn't want to explain yourself, why say anything about the watch?
Lucky guess.
What do you want to do here?
Oh, another reference. Thanks, Mike.
Because I do 3 days a week at Rivington House, hospice. Good orderly's tough to find.
What do you mean he gets a job? How is it related to him finding the watch?
You're a strange type of doctor.
I told you I'm not a doctor.
Oh, I think you are. Dr. Sleep.
I'm telling you, these drug dealers represent a clear and present danger to the United States.
He said it! He said it!
All I'm saying is, what if this is as good as it gets?
There it is! There it is!
The only way for me to solve this crisis is to be Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
Mind you that the term Dr. Sleep will be barely mentioned for the rest of the movie. Danny is rehabilitated and starts to communicate with Abra. Wait, wasn't the main conflict with the protagonist already solved? Danny is no longer an alcoholic. What was the movie about?
And you have, because of the requirements of not only getting into Danny's childhood and the events after The Shining, but also this kind of first act of his story before he finds sobriety. You know, that's its own other chapter. And there are versions of this movie that could have existed without that. I just think it would have robbed the character of so much resonance. You know, if you didn't see him hit that rock bottom, if you didn't see him find purpose, in sobriety and in his job at the hospice, which is really the whole reason the title is what it is.
Yeah.
Without that, everything that happens after loses meaning.
So thank you for us both, I guess. This is for Jack Torrance.
Meanwhile, the Nod starts searching for a new prey.
The world's not as steamy, and you are looking for a whale.
Immediately after they go search for the steamy kid, they find him walking conveniently alone on a deserted road.
We're friends. You want to hop in? I'll take you right home.
You can take me right
Why
home.
did the hypnosis work on the kid, but it didn't for her? Was she more or less steamy?
Soon after.
Pain purifies steam. Fear too, so you understand.
Only for Abra to get noticed. Finally, we get another reference. I was worried for a second that I was going to forget what movie we are seeing.
I don't know where she is, but when she comes back, and she'll be back. Oh, I'll be ready, honey.
Why are you so sure that she will be back? Oh, because there are almost 100 minutes left. Abra starts to investigate the murder, and basically with a single photocopy that she finds on the internet, she discovers that someone was using the glove of the kid, where they killed the kid, where they buried him, and who they are. That's pretty convenient.
Shining is a supernatural ability. It's like telekinesis, it's being psychic. You see like visions, and you can move things with your mind. You can read people's thoughts, and you can send your thoughts to another person.
Okay, let's say that this framework is actually valid, and The Shining is all of that. Surely she will find the killer right away, right? What is exactly the limit of her power here? If you can gather enough information to search up a body, wouldn't it be better to notify the police?
We could also get his glove. If I can touch that glove, I can track them.
Easy, easy.
Because Barry the Chunk, I think that was his name. For a while, before they killed him, he was wearing it.
But you already tracked one of them. Why wouldn't you see the others too? Danny makes a sensible decision and stops a child from following a couple of serial killers with magical powers. I mean, that's how Danny survived all this time, right?
If they'd even sniffed you, you'd be long dead. And they've noticed that little girl.
What the hell am I supposed to do?
Get her what she asked for.
Rose enters the mind of Abra and immediately finds out where she lives. I guess because Abra entered the mind of Rose first, but Abra doesn't know where the crazy lady lives, because that would be too easy.
He said you'd come back.
Finally, she enters the mind of Rose, but I guess she doesn't want to read anything, because that would be too useful.
What does she know?
I don't know. I don't know.
How much does she...
I don't know! Ugh.
There's a problem.
The tall dude dies.
We haven't been eating well.
You just ate a kid though, and wouldn't he also come back as a ghost? Maybe he can inform you about Abra, just like Halloran did with Danny. Nah. Abra finally convinces Danny to search the body. Then Danny and his boyfriend Pedro go to the factory, find the body and the glove. Given that now they have evidence, Danny finally goes to the police in order to start an investigation.
Gotta do something. I recall the police, the FBI. Those people have been around a long, long time, sir. They're rich, connected. I don't think they're worried about the police.
Just alludes to the fact they've been around forever.
Yeah.
They have connections, and you have the line in the movie, but he never explores it really deeply. And you have a ton of questions about them when you read it. You think, well, do you know anyone in power? Is there a big conspiracy? And he just gives you that feeling, which is very smart. And you did the same. Were you ever seduced to, maybe we could do, I don't know, some Men in Black type of bullshit.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things where the more you explain, the more questions it creates.
Yeah.
Are they rich? How does Danny know that? If they are rich and powerful, why not use it? Can they use the police?
Crow at one point talks about having an asset at the NSA, and that's where they actually get the tranquilizer drugs they use on Abra. That they were so connected, into the security agency, national security agency. Like we shot that. We shot that line, and it's in one of the deleted scenes where he talks about, reaching out to his asset at the NSA to get this drug. And I love that detail. It's one of those things that really shows how connected they are. The problem is the 10 questions it creates. It
distracts you from the plot.
Right. And the more you're thinking about, well, how did they reach out and make contact within the intelligence community? And what's their connection? Who handles their money? Where do they keep it?
Abra uses the globe and immediately knows where everyone is. Therefore, they start to make a plan in order to go to the forest.
Well, they'll be trying to track you, trying to catch on. And you're gonna let them.
Immediately after them, the Knot arrives in a secluded place where they don't question why was Abra there alone.
Soon after.
We're friends.
We're friends.
That's right.
Why was she even hypnotized? If Rose the Hat wasn't hypnotized and she was less powerful than Abra, then why does it affect Abra?
The fuck?
Whoops.
My heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot.
Stop. Sleep. Sleep!
Danny has the shine. Why did the hypnotizing work with him? Pedro is also hypnotized.
Billy!
In the arms of the angel, fly.
I didn't see the crow. Where's the crow?
Come on, bro.
How did he know that she would be in the house? And why would Crow Daddy go alone in the house? If he noticed something odd, why wouldn't he tell the others? The Crow explains that Abra has been dozed off and both are on their way to meet with Rose. Therefore, Abra won't be able to contact anyone.
My brain was like a radio. No one's answering when you call, so stop calling. Just listen.
Therefore, I guess Danny immediately contacts her and starts controlling Abra. Because otherwise, how else are we going to move the story?
Stands to reason. Of course you wouldn't wear your seatbelt.
Anyways, Danny finds Abra. How? I don't know, because magic. Then I guess they go to the Overlook Hotel.
Well, if it's dangerous for people like us, I expect it's dangerous for people like her.
Is it still dangerous when you have already captured all of the ghosts? They go to the Overlook Hotel to lure in Rose.
She can only come from here. You see her a mile out, easy. You see lights on the mountain over there? You blast me, okay?
How much time are you going to wait for her? Is she even going to arrive the same day? Maybe she's going to sleep or be in a car accident. Are you just going to wait for her until she arrives?
You aren't waiting with me?
I can't.
Why not?
I have to wake it up.
Why can't you wake it up from the outside?
The kind of movie that those audiences would expect.
Just really quick, like for an audience, for example, a young audience, when they see that scene where Ewan McGregor sticks his head through the door that had been obviously, the axe had cut through, may not get the reference.
That's very true.
Does it make a difference to who sees the film? They're going to relate to it differently?
We've been pretty consistently surprised at even people who haven't seen The Shining, how much of the iconography they recognize. So obviously it's our job to make a compelling movie for an audience if they haven't seen The Shining, and we've been trying very hard to do that. But The Shining's sort of infected, in a good way, culture in a very pervasive way, and we find it kind of showing through you know, when we've shown the movie to kind of early audiences, we notice that a lot. So if you haven't seen it, it should still work, but
it's a sort of, it's more about not thinking about it in a way, because of course you can't not know that it's a sort of homage to that moment, or the audience are going to be remembering that moment with Jack. But my character at that moment is out the window. You know, Danny was, his mum had taken him in the bathroom and he'd climbed out the window and gone down the snow drift, and he was in the maze. And so he didn't see his father coming through the door. So I didn't want to, it's not like my character saw the movie.
Why did Danny remember how Jack broke the door when he was no longer in the bathroom? Right, references, I get it. Danny confronts Rose with an axe. What happened to the rifle?
Go.
So it is revealed that they trapped Rose in the maze of the first movie. Why a maze and not an active volcano? Oh, references, now I get it.
Is that what you really think? You're gonna hurt me?
Yes.
So early on we learned that Danny was taught to create an object with his mind, and clearly Abra can do it too. If they can just imagine anything, why not imagine a gun? Or why not just stab her?
You're just the bait.
What's the point of coming all the way here if you're not going to use the hotel to fight Rose at all?
Run! This only ends if we end it, and I don't think we can beat her. Not by ourselves.
In the Overlook, all of these ghosts that populated the hotel and expired in the hotel, the twins, Mrs. Massey, Delvin, all of these ghosts come back and they haunt us once again, and ultimately Dan Torrance releases them at just the right moment. What he's done is he's baited Rose the Hat. She thinks that she's baited him, and she's beaten him, and she's going to eat his shine. But in fact, he drew her into the hotel, drew her to the center of the hotel, to the heart of it, to open all these lockboxes in his head, and to let all these ghosts out, all these hungry, hungry ghosts, to come out and devour her.
Abra, we are going to the Overlook Hotel to fight Rose. Okay, but why? Because it's a place dangerous for people like us. Why is it dangerous? There are ghosts, okay? But didn't you say that you captured all of the ghosts? No, you see, after our plan to capture her in a box fails, she will grab an axe that I was holding to defend myself and she will stab me with it. Then she will get close to me and I will release the ghost on her face.
Soon after.
It's so dangerous. Why would we go there?
Well, if it's dangerous for people like us, I expect it's dangerous for people like her.
Ever and ever and ever.
Abra is just walking the hotel, waiting to be killed. No, don't exit the hotel, please. Only to discover that Danny has been possessed. But if the ghosts kill Rose by themselves, why would they need the control of Dan? Oh.
Made one stop as soon as he got here. To the boiler room.
Danny sure knows a lot about the boiler room, to know how much time is left to fight Rose and exit the hotel. Danny stops being possessed by using the power of love, and then Danny says his final goodbyes to stop the boiler room. You can just turn it off, there's no reason for it to explode right now. Why would it explode right now? Fuck you. Danny called the police from the beyond.
I knew you were okay.
Good thing that the dead can talk to the living, but only the good guys, not bad people.
That you should keep your head down. Keep your shine out of sight. But I was wrong. Shine on, Aberstone.
The only reason why they didn't get you was because you did not use the Shining as a kid, and the cause of the whole problem was that she used her shine. What are you talking about? Why would the ghost follow her if the hotel is burned? If the ghosts still exist, what was the point of destroying the hotel?
The cinematic universe of Stephen King is so established that we have to use the language of Kubrick. There's no other way around it anymore.
At one point, because I always imagine a writer's room, I don't know why, where people are like, okay, are we going to do our own thing completely, like a third version? Are we going to do the sequel? And you have to come to the conclusion we cannot erase The Shining out of anybody's brain.
That's right.
It's impossible.
Yep.
We came to that conclusion pretty quickly. It was a debate for sure.
Not a very robust one.
But not a robust one, because there's really no... We try and ask all these questions and answer them in the way that the fans would, or that we would as fans, and that didn't take very long to answer that one.
Yeah, we asked it though. We would try to ask any question we thought someone else might.
Okay.
Even if we thought we already knew the answer, it was like we have to entertain it. We have to go through the process of debating it because the fan base will.
Definitely.
And we can't say, yeah, we never considered that. Now, yeah, we never looked at it. We have, more than any other project we've ever done, we have to leave no stone unturned in this one. And so, yeah, that was a short discussion, but the answer was clearly, like you said, you can't erase The Shining. And the visual language in my own head reading the book was Kubrick's language. There was no way out of that. That was just kind of self-evident.
Why make the movie related to The Shining if said reference adds nothing to the overall plot? Couldn't the final fight be anywhere else, considering that Danny could have used the ghosts that were within him at any moment?
The heartbeat to me, because the film is so brilliantly paced and it feels like it goes by in like 45 minutes. And I think a lot of it had to do with the score, but also the way your storytelling works. Talk about that heartbeat and the choice of when to use it and when not to use it. Because to me, it's almost like, is that my heartbeat happening here? Am I the one freaking out and getting nervous, or is that on screen? That's a cool concept, I thought.
Yeah, which is a lesson we learned from The Shining, and that sense of when a sound design element is that specific and can actually be, that question of, oh my God, is this my own heart and my own ears? As we tweaked the tempo of the heartbeat, when we could increase it and let it decrease to kind of force your body subconsciously to have that feeling of clenching up and holding your breath, and then of relaxing. That was such an incredible tool for that. It's being able to communicate directly with a viewer's subconscious. With a sound that we are all experiencing all the time, the blood in our own body kind of beating to our heartbeat, we tune it completely out, which is why we only are acutely aware of our own in moments of intense anxiety or fear.
That's interesting.
It's 4 a.m. You've always seen me, Billy. You have a...
Walking to the station, fueling the car, truly nerve-wracking moments. It's not a good movie.